All right, guys, for those of you who have been watching this channel for a while, of course, first, I thank you, but you probably know that this has been a little time in coming. I've been playing in two different saves right now with teams that have absolutely no corner setup whatsoever. So we're going to go ahead and set this up here on camera. I actually already did this for the Mars FC save, and you saw it this morning if you watched this channel, my little season preview. Of course, I set it up for Mars FC because we have the AFC Cup on that channel coming up very, very soon in about 2 days. And that's kind of a big match. It kind of is a big deal for me. I'm hoping that we can do well. And if we can steal a couple corner goals, then so be it. Here I am in the other save. If you haven't been watching this at all, don't worry about it. It's fine. We're playing with Manchester United in what is called the World Super League. So when we look at the competitions, we have like every major team in the world here with us together in a Premier League. It's actually 46-team Premier League, but we are in a division with 23 teams. Kind of a long story. It's pretty interesting, though, if you look at it. And we're playing with legendary players. This is through the Legends of the Beautiful Game database, which I very, very highly recommend. Very well done. This is an earlier version of the database. I think by the time you watch this, the full version will likely be out, done by a good friend of mine in Malaysia. And so that is the reason why we have a team with like, I don't know, Paul Pogba as a 17-year-old. This is why we have Cristiano Ronaldo as an 18-year-old. This is why we have Pele as a 22-year-old. This is why we have Maradona. Where are you, Maradona? There you are, Diego Maradona as a 20-year-old, right? If this sort of thing interests you, come watch this save. It's a lot of fun. We score a lot of goals and have a very good team. Lev Yashin is our keeper, who is a world-class keeper, probably best in the world, 24 years old. And he's conceded 22 and 21 appearances. What's up with that, Lev? No, he's really, really good. A very, very good keeper. But, of course, we want to set up our corners. And we're going to set that up for the game that we play today. So we're going to set up attacking corners. At some point in time, when I set up the tactic that I set up, I created 2 corner routines, a near post and a far post one. So that part is already done, which is nice. I don't have any players identified as actual corner takers, right? So you can do this. You can go to set pieces and set piece takers. You can identify players that way. A lot of people will do that, so you can make sure that you have in-swinging corners. Honestly, having played this for a while, I don't really care. I'll let the game figure it out for me. Because it gets really complicated when you're like, well, is this guy on? Is this guy off? Blah, blah, blah. I mean, whatever. Forget about it. It's stupid. I'm not going to sit around and spend all my time doing that. All right. This near post right formation, this is basically the way that we're going to have it. So we'll have 3 guys up here for both the near and far post formations. We're going to make this very simple. And what we want to do is we really want to look through this and figure out, okay, who is tall? Right? And I know that you're going to think like, well, what does that have to do with anything? This is just my experience in the game. We want tall guys who have good reach, who can play up front. And so this guy is tall. What I'm looking at right here is over here where it tells me his height, right? So we know that this, I think, is Pogba, is tall. It doesn't even say his name up here. You'll notice that like jumping reach, strength, and stuff like that, there's no number listed. It's because I play in what we call hardcore mode, right? I'm playing with a skin that takes away all of the numbers so that instead of looking at a bunch of numbers, I have to like get a feel for the players and how they play. But in essence, what this means for this particular task is I'm just going to be looking at the player's height. And as surprising as that might seem, it actually does work. We'll put another guy here as well. So we have, who is this? Rashford's going to be up close, and then marking the keeper is going to be Ronaldo. How you like him in your face. And then we want to make sure that we have a bunch of guys back. The reason why I keep so many guys back, and whatever, this guy will do like this. These guys are 180. It's not going to matter that much. The reason why we want to have these guys back is to protect against counterattacks. That's the reason why we do this. We want to make sure that we don't have a whole ton of guys move forward. What I've noticed as I've played around with this in a variety of saves is that when you have a whole bunch of guys back in something like this, oftentimes the corner will be hit back out to one of these guys, and you can get another attack right away. Sometimes that can lead to a goal. So this far post thing, this doesn't work so well. Why do I have this guy here? I don't know. Why do I have this guy here? This makes no sense. I don't know. So whatever. We'll put this guy over here. Again, we want to have 3 guys here. We're going to have the same 3. So we're going to look here. Okay, so this one will come up here. We want to have, here's another 185 is the height, and then we'll look and find Pogba, whatever happened to him, assuming he's on here somewhere. There he is, and then he'll go play up here, right? And that's it. And we have that set up, and we'll go ahead and do that again for the left side. One of the reasons why I don't want anybody identified as the corner taker is because it just makes it easier for me to set this up at this point, so that I'm not like clicking through and like, oh my gosh, I accidentally switched the guy around or whatever. I've heard that I think the next version of Football Manager, as I set this up, I think the next version of Football Manager is going to have improvements to the corner system. I certainly hope so. It's about time. They should have done this like a long time ago, because this has been a not good system for a very, very long time. It would also be nice if, as is the case with so many things in Football Manager, if you couldn't just like go default into something and have it just automatically work because it's Football Manager. We'll have the AMC here. Mason Mount probably has better heading than Duncan Edwards, although I might be wrong. There's a near post. We'll do the same thing here for the far post. That's the thing, right? Like, I mean, it's a very, very simplistic way to handle corners. It does kind of work, right? One of the problems that you have, though, is that from match to match, before every match, you have to go and take a look and be like, okay, do I have this set up right with the right guys in the right places and stuff like that, you know? And the reason why you have to make sure it's set up right is because the game will like reset it and stuff. It's all dumb. That's the thing. It's a pretty dumb system. It's kind of dumb that you have to sit around and do this. It's not really all that well thought through. No, actually, we want you here, and then we want, do we have another guy who's 185? There we go. We want you over here, and that'll do it. So, okay, I think we have this set up nicely so that Ronaldo, I think in all cases, is marking the keeper. And then it's just really simple. We have 3 guys up forward for the corner. It's only 3 guys to look for, right? You'll probably have a bunch of defenders up here, and so if one of them hits it back, look, we have a whole bunch of guys playing in the back, and they can run up quickly, and sometimes we can sneak in a goal, or at least sneak in a shot on goal. That's basically what I do. That's how I set up set pieces, right? There's nothing more complicated to it than that. There really isn't. Like, you know, I mean, there are all sorts of like different things, I suppose, that you could do to try to get it up and working, you know, and to try to I don't know, do all sorts of like fancy stuff. I've read a bunch of the blogs that I think a lot of people know about. I'm aware of a lot of the different theories that are out there. In my experience, though, doing it simple is a lot easier than messing around with the theories. You go into like free kicks, throw-ins and stuff. I don't even touch this stuff, right? And penalties, I mean, when it comes to penalty takers, I'm actually going to take these guys off. I want the team to determine who the penalty taker is going to be during the game. I don't want to have anybody chosen as a set piece, a penalty taker. The reason why I don't want that to happen is because usually the game will default to the guy who's best at penalties. I mean, seriously, that's what happens. If there's no need to set it up, then don't set it up. Let them figure it out. I've never had a circumstance in which I didn't set this up and some random guy who can't kick a penalty ends up taking one. Usually what happens is I don't set it up, and then the game figures out who the optimal person would be, and it puts it in for me, you know, and then I don't have to worry about, oh, I didn't change this right before the match or whatever, or this guy was listed above that other guy or what. I mean, it's all stupid, right? The game will also set it up, by the way, if you're not aware of this, so that if you have a guy who's got 2 goals and there's a penalty, he will always take the penalty to try to get the hat trick. It will automatically do that. I think there might be a way to turn that off if you want to, but I don't see any reason why you'd want to turn it off, right? Because I mean, it just makes your job easier. And when it comes to Football Manager, if something makes it easy and makes it so it goes forward and goes faster and you can spend your time doing the fun stuff instead of doing these chores like this, you should go for it. Anyway, there you go. That's the way that I set this up, and we'll see in this match if it has any impact or not. Talk to you tomorrow. Bye.